So now you're in business ideas and feasibility, but you might be asking yourself, what is a feasibility study? What have you gotten yourself into? So we're going to give a quick breakdown of exactly what a feasibility study is. Obviously, we'll get more in depth as we continue through our modules, but this is just going to give you a quick insight as to what is actually within a feasibility study. What is it? So first, you need to know that there are 6 parts to a feasibility study. So quickly, those are the description, the market feasibility, the technical feasibility, financial feasibility, organizational feasibility, and your conclusions. A feasibility study is going to be the tool that you use to answer 2 very important questions. First, is there a likelihood the business idea will be successful? Will you be able to reach the vision that you have for success? Will it be profitable? Do you have all the tools and materials that you need in order to make it successful? Also, secondary, should you proceed with development? Is there going to be a benefit from this idea that you have? So these are the 2 questions a feasibility study is designed to answer. It is important to note that a feasibility study is not a business plan. So the feasibility study looks at the viability of an idea. So this is all of the before work, the research, the numbers of whether or not this plan can even work. The business plan outlines the assumptions and strategies that an entrepreneur will utilize to execute the idea. With a business plan, you're generally sharing these types of ideas with people in your company, or you're sharing them with potential lenders. The feasibility study is not a document that will be shared with external stakeholders, so format is not critical. There are things that cross over from a feasibility study as well as a business plan. For example, your sales forecast is something that will cross over in both. So what is included in these? So first, in your description of your business is you need to describe your specific concept. What industry are you in, or what profession are you in? What product or service are you going to be offering? What process are you changing? And so those are all things that need to be included. How are you going to make money? So the idea of every business is to make money. So within this description, you need to also list your goals and your objectives, because not everyone's vision of success is the same. You have to put it out there for the reader of your feasibility study, or even for yourself to have a better understanding. What is your vision of success? Is it making a return on your investment? Or is it changing something? Is it having X amount of people come through your door for your services? And so what is your vision of success? And then after that, you would need to list your objectives. Your objectives are your measures of steps that will lead you to meet the goals of the business. So basically, how are you going to get yourself to that vision? What are the steps you're going to take that are measurable? So basically, short-term goals to get you to your vision of success. Market feasibility covers who, what, and how. Who are you selling this to, or who is your audience? How are you going to make money from this? What are your revenue streams? Who are your top competitors? So this is what you're going to look at the market in the market feasibility section of your feasibility study. When you're looking at your industry description, you want to include the size and scope of the industry and market segments. So who's your target market? How many people are included in the size and scope of your industry? And what particular type of person are you looking for? Now, when you're looking at your target market, you want to make sure that there's growth potential. You want to make sure that the market is growing and not shrinking. You want to look at future trends. Maybe it's a fidget spinner idea, which we know is only going to be a short-term, very hot market, but is that going to continue to trend? So is it stable? What's the life cycle of this particular industry and market and this particular thing that you or item or idea that you're putting forth into the market? How competitive are you? How will you compete? How are you going to be better than your competitors? Is it that you have a better product? Is it that you have a cheaper product with, decent quality? how are you going to be competitive with all of your competitors? What makes you different? What's going to make you stand out? One of the big parts of this course is going to be your sales forecast. In fact, I believe this is your second assignment. Basically, a sales forecast is an educated prediction of future sales based on previous year's sales or industry data and economic trends. So you are putting numbers together as your best educated estimate of what future sales will look like. And this is going to be based off research, either from previous experience in that industry or from looking at your competitors in the area. Now, when you're looking at the technical feasibility, you need to look at facility needs. You need to look at the size and type of physical location. Do you need a storefront? Do you need a warehouse? Can you do this out of your home? You need to look at your inputs, or this is once again your access to raw materials and staff or labor. You need to look at your technology needs, equipment, machines, computers, software. What is it that you need to make sure that this idea can get off the ground? When you're looking at your financial feasibility, can you make this happen? How much is it going to cost to make it happen? So estimate your capital requirements, including startup and contingency funding. So contingency funding for anything that might come in the future that you weren't expecting. So basically some cushion. Identify how capitalization needs may be met. Where are you going to get this money? So estimating your credit needs, identifying alternative sources of equity or credit. So how will you get money to support your business until it's financially stable or if you hit a rut? So these are all things that you need to look into when you're looking at your financial feasibility. When looking at organizational feasibility, you want to outline your staffing needs. How many people do you need to bring your vision to life? Identify potential partners, joint venture partners. You want to look specifically at the people that you're bringing on or the people that are involved, and you want to list their skills, their abilities, their experience, their education. What are they bringing to the table that's going to help this idea get off the ground? Now, your conclusions are going to summarize all of your findings. So from the very beginning in the description all the way through to how are you going to finance it. You want to look at everything you've looked at, and then you're going to answer your own questions. Is this project feasible? Will it be successful? Are there alternative business options that are viable? So maybe your original idea isn't quite viable, but if you modify it just a little bit, then it could be successful. And so coming up with alternative ideas might also be helpful by looking back at all of your different findings. And then at the end, you want to describe your decision. So at the end, you have to make your decision in this conclusion. And once again, it's whether you're going to proceed with the idea, maybe you'll trash the idea, or maybe you'll modify the original idea. So those are what is included inside of a feasibility study.